The upside of machine learning models is that they learn from data without explicitly defining unmanageable number of instructions to solve a problem. On top of that, there is a sentiment that VC firms and angel investors pounce on funding ML powered applications and organizations, which kind of blurs our vision to see through the risks associated with the ML projects. And in this video, we set out to define those questions and talk about the guidelines that should help you evaluate your ML project and should help you answer whether this ML problem is worth solving. So let's get down to the questions. So following are the 5 questions that you should answer before you start working on your ML project. Question number 1. How will I scope out this ML project? So first of all, get rid of any bias of using ML in your solution. The goal is to use the best tools to solve a problem and use ML only if it makes sense. Now, let's say you want to predict your users' behavior on your application to suggest them the right TV shows or the clothing line or groceries or whatever your product offers. So here you should start by having discussions about the product goal and the type of modeling that it would need. And this should include discussions on how your system or your application would handle ML failures gracefully. A good metric here to take into account is the confidence score that the model has in its prediction. So if, let's say, the confidence score is above 90%, then you show those recommendations prominently. If the confidence score is between 50 to 90, then you still show those suggestions or those recommendations, but with less emphasis. And if the confidence score is less than 50%, then you do not show those recommendations. The second question that you should look to answer is, what should be my main area of focus in this project? Now, this question requires you to do a risk-reward analysis. You should learn the cost of prediction or the inference that your model is making. Now here, you should find the impact bottleneck, which is the main pain point that would add the most value to your product or to your project. Now here, most of the time you'll find that you're not working on the right problem or you are not at the right growth stage to pick up this project. A common issue that pops up is choosing an overly complex model. So here what happens is, even if the accuracy of the model is state of the art, your product is dead because of the overheads that come along with that overly complex model. So one very common and useful workaround is choosing a simple and more explainable model and then debug the whole pipeline. So the third question that you should look to answer is, what is the quickest way to test the feasibility of the project? And when it comes to feasibility, first of all, you should check whether you have the data available or not for your problem. And the goal of this exercise is to come up with a plan that de-risks your ML project. So here you should start with a strawman baseline, that is to evaluate your worst case performance. So what would happen if all of the predictions were wrong? How annoying would your model be to the user if the predictions or the suggestions that it is making were all wrong? So you have to come up with those answers. Let's assume that your model could not do better than this baseline. So would your product or your application be still valuable to the user or not? Now this whole scenario, this applies really well to natural language applications. For example, if you're building something to, let's say, summarize a text, and most of the times what happens is extracting the top keywords or categories serves most users' needs. So you have to first check the feasibility of the project, and you have to do that in the quickest possible way. So the fourth question that you should ask yourself is, what is the value proposition of my ML project? And what is the best way to identify the impact bottleneck? Now, this is a very good question and a very important one as well. And to identify the value proposition, imagine that you have solved the impact bottleneck and now you are about to announce or launch your product into the market. And let's say you are asked to compose a social media post or a press release or a blog, whatever it is, in order to announce the release of your product. Now, in the process of writing that post, you will actually realize the value of your product. And what that does is it puts value of the results into context based on the efforts. And the last question that you should ask is, how do I decide which modeling technique to use? Now, this is more of an approach or, a best practice or a guideline that you should follow. So the mantra should be to put in a few manual hours before you actually ask a machine to do the job efficiently. So you have to do this whole process. So you have to do this whole exercise of looking at inputs and outputs of the model yourself. So you spend some manual hours looking at the dataset yourself, look at the instances of the dataset, a few examples, rank them, and try to see what patterns you're looking at. And this exercise will actually help you find out the good heuristics, choose the right models, and at the same time you will learn how to better reframe your product. And basically the last step would then become to have a diverse workforce that will actually look into the results of the model. So that process would be catching instances where the model is showing discriminative behavior, such as tagging your friends in the picture or in the image as monkeys or something else. So those were the 5 questions, and I hope you must have found some value in those questions. These are something that I've read and now I am following when I'm actually working on 3 ML projects myself, and it's really hard to actually draw down on what exactly I want to work on and whether that problem is really worth solving using ML or not. So those are very good questions when it comes to organizational decision making, something that is that would affect a lot of people in the process, and it's a very good list of questions that one should actually try to answer before they start working and before they get to the grind. So I hope you find it useful. Please, if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like the content, if you would want to see more videos like these. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.